visual theme of the Mitchells vs. the Machines centers on humanity and all of our flaws. And the visual philosophy of Sony Pictures Imageworks was to reflect that humanity in every frame. We wanted the film to feel like an illustration. To achieve this, we needed organic shapes, hand-drawn lines, and watercolor textures. We set out to create a new original style that highlighted the human imperfections of our world. Animating the Mitchells family came with its own unique challenges. The goal in presenting the family was to craft relatable performances while balancing their exaggerated designs. Animators were always looking for ways to make scenes feel realistic, having the characters interact with their environment organically, and never settling for superficial performance conventions.
After a long day at work, nice to see your faces. Bathed in ghoulish blue light, wonderful.
We built a new outlining tool that mimicked the texture and variation of watermarkers. We wanted the outlines to appear hand-drawn, which meant they needed width variation and the ability to fade out in areas across the length of the lines. They also needed to be able to break away from the surface, pick up the surface color, and react to lights in the scene. In order to create painterly lighting and shading, we wanted to reveal marker textures in the shadows based on light direction. The key was to make the brushstrokes dynamic based on lighting, and not look like it was projected like usual textures on UVs. At the same time, they needed to be stable as the lighting changed. We developed a strokes shader with unique blending functions of the multiple textures using OSL's texture lookups for smooth filtering. Trees and foliage needed to be grounded by the look of the real world, yet realized in the stylized look of illustrations. Additionally, the trees were further simplified when seen at distance, requiring multiple looks for each tree. A new filter for Arnold was written to simplify the light passes into patchy smears of color and shape, all while maintaining the lighting direction and surface qualities present in the base renders. The stealth bots were robots that were designed by an AI which, itself, was made by a human. So in their motion design, we wanted them to have a remnant of human bipedal origin, but to be evolving away from it. For their movement, the animation team explored different methods of non-standard locomotion. The goal was to make every transformation unique, so rather than rigging set transformations, we developed two new tools that allowed animators to come up with their own unique shape patterns and transitions. As a result, no two shots were alike. The robot city was designed to be a glowing monument to perfection. Within the city, there are complex effects and animations that add up to a living, breathing, yet fully robotic backdrop. Every aspect of the city had a function, and it ended up being a stark contrast to the handmade look of all our other locations. For the Mall of the Globe, we identified rules concerning the way store interiors should be graphically depicted. We then built a virtual interior tool in which we could layer two-dimensional images into a three-dimensional space, creating a shopping mall full of stores designed by visual development.
Thank you, human. Are you now my mother?
Pop-up doodles, which we called Katie Vision, were created with a variety of mixed traditional media. They were added after final animation, allowing them to appear as spontaneous reactions to what was happening in Katie's story.
Fire behind us?
The Mitchells vs. the Machines challenged our team at Sony Pictures Imageworks to not only create a new visual style, but to reinvent virtually every aspect of our pipeline and how we create animated films.
Hey, thanks for watching. Did you know that the first feature film created solely with computer-generated imagery, CGI, was Toy Story from 1985? Over 800,000 hours of mathematical equations went into the film, which works out to be more than a week of computer time for every second on the screen. Do you like my shirt? You can get one for yourself in the link in the description.